Hello, I'm Gillian, owner of Colleen's Lingerie and Swimwear. Now that we're communicating virtually, I hope you don't mind that I'm in my WFH loungewear. Things are changing all around us every single day, but I just wanted to let you know that we are here to support you and the girls.
About you, Gillian, but I'm finding this a very unusual time mentally, I think, being at home as much as I am. So I'm not coming into the shop like I'm used to.
And we miss you.
Which feels very strange, and I miss my customers and I miss the girls here. But I'm at home and I'm trying to balance my own sanity, I guess, with this change in routine, and then also dealing with homeschooling my son and now school holidays. And I think that's something that so many women and so many of our customers would be dealing with, as well as suddenly this pull on us as women to be expected to be doing it all.
Even more.
And more.
In some respects.
Yeah, and balancing those feelings as well then with the media and the language and the words that we're hearing coming at us all the time that are so descriptive and depressing, really, when you think about it. Quarantine, isolation, lockdown, all these words. Actually, and you said something really beautiful before that struck me as well about that feeling of being stuck at home and replacing it. What was the saying that you heard?
So I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, which I always do when I'm traveling.
Yeah.
And this particular one, it's just about thinking about, instead of saying, oh, I'm stuck at home, I'm safe at home.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And the more that you or the less really you should be looking at, what's going on in the world elsewhere. I just feel like as soon as I think about it, I'm safe at home.
Yeah. My
whole body and even my sense of anxiety lessens just by reframing the situation in a not so much a positive way, but in a way that my brain is not freaking out.
Yeah, it's really powerful because I think when you're at home, I was about to say when you're stuck at home, when you're at home, there's so much time in your own head and all the thoughts that are swirling around. And, we talk a lot at various times of the year, particularly Are You Okay? Month, where we all check in on each other. And I think that's really important now more than ever, that we're checking in on people, whether it's just a quick text message or an online face-to-face with somebody, just to see how everyone's going. Because I know there's days where I don't speak to another human other than my child, and it's so strange to as someone who loves to have a chat and is always with customers and with people, it's strange to be in silence a lot. So I think that's probably something universal that so many of us are feeling, that feeling of separateness from our people. And I guess to acknowledge that it's okay that some days at home you'll be productive, some days you just won't, and that's okay. And it's pretty funny, I realized I'd sort of reached peak aloneness 2 nights ago, where I was sitting in bed and I was zombie scrolling through my phone, as I'm prone to do sometimes. And I realized, my son came in to say goodnight to me, and I put down my phone and I realized I had just spent 40 minutes watching videos of people shaving their heads.
Oh, so you're going to shave your head now?
I kind of want to shave my head. So these strange things, and I thought, okay, all right, that was tonight. Tomorrow night I am not going to zombie scroll for 40 minutes.
That's actually not such a bad idea, because now that actually women are not able necessarily to get to the hairdressers, they're actually, hair color is starting to look a little bit different, and some may be having, the silver roots shining through. Yes. And in actual fact, to then go, well, how long am I going to be in isolation? Safe at home. I'll shave my head. And then that way then they'll just appear with this amazing hair like my color. And they haven't had to go through the agony of changing it in stages.
It sounds pretty good.
Actually, so that's actually not such a crazy idea to actually think, if you actually were contemplating, whether I'm going to go back to my natural color or not. that's actually not such a bad idea.
And you're certainly not alone. If the things I'm seeing, people are doing all kinds of crazy things. And I think, that's a coping mechanism as well for this time. And I think if you can bring some humor into it, because it is unusual and we're not meant to be at home all the time.
And I was actually reading, because now I've got a little bit more time. I mean, the shop is still open and I'm still here every day. But just reading some information about all the Zoom meetings or the FaceTiming or whichever means of technology that you're actually using to communicate face to face, that it can actually be more exhausting than, like, for example, going to work or having, going out and actually talking to people, because our brains are working subconsciously, if you like, in determining, Karen looks happy today, or she looks sad, and so I've already got that information because I'm sitting talking to you.
Yeah, you can see somebody's energy.
And you can see somebody and you can feel it. Whereas on a screen, our brains are kind of trying to figure out, what's that person's mood? What is it? Are they telling me what's theirs? And so in the background, our brain is just working. Plus then we're trying to talk to this person.
Yeah.
So the end of these conversations, if you're doing them on a regular basis, it's actually really exhausting. And I've heard people saying, I don't know what's going on. I'm actually more exhausted.
Yeah.
Some respects doing less because they're not going to work, or they're not out there playing with children, or they're not doing their normal other activities. And I just find that really, really interesting to actually understand. I mean, our brains are incredible anyway, and I think that's where a lot of anxiety and fear come around, is the brain is telling us to be fearful when in actual fact we're safe at home.
Yeah, that's really lovely. It's a nice way to think, and I really like that feeling of changing the language around how we talk about it, and how we then can process the feelings that are all completely valid. And I'd be really interested to hear from some of our lovely clients as well, as how they're coping and how they're feeling with it all. And certainly that they should know that we're here still. And sometimes if you just need to pick up the telephone.
And we've had lots of
just
ladies phoning us up to ask us to send us things. And then we're always asking, how are you going? What's happening with you? And having those lovely longer conversations too, which has been really, really nice as well for us, because we miss all our lovely customers as well. I know that we're still here. Ladies are still having surgery, and that in itself, I've just seen probably a little bit more level of anxiety around women who are newly diagnosed in these circumstances, and to be able to still be here and to offer them, longer conversations and try to reassure them and give them, information, as well as, places like Bosom Buddies, our wonderful breast cancer support group that we've got here in Canberra. Somebody on the other end of a phone that's been there, that knows and can help.
So important.
It's so really, really important. If you have any questions or we can support you in any way, please get in touch. We are all in this together.